Welcome back. Well, the markets are expected to stage a recovery this morning, led by supportive global cues and a fall in crude prices. But plenty of stocks to talk about, so let's get straight to it. Mangalam is joining in first up to tell us why he's watching Marico this morning. Mangalam, over to you.
Good morning. So Marico reported their Q2 update yesterday evening, and it's a bit of a mixed bag because the top-line growth is still soft. Margins, however, continue to be strong. It's more of the same what was in the first quarter itself, and that's as far as the demand conditions are concerned. They said that demand was largely similar to what Q1 was, and they expect recovery only in the second half of this year. It will be interesting to see where that goes. Domestic revenues for them were lower. At the same time, the volumes grew in low single digits itself. Though they expect gross margin expansion, some of that would be replowed back into ad spends, and as a result of which, operating profit is expected to grow in double digits. So that's a bit of a positive. However, if you look at their segments as well, the Parachute, coconut oil, as well as Saffola edible oils have seen low single-digit volume growth, low single-digit value growth in their value-added hair oils business as well. So after the stock rallied after an ICICI upgrade a couple of days ago, it's expected to cool off a little bit in today's trading session.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Mangalam. Well, let's hop across to Sonal. She's here to tell us about Navin Fluorine. The stock has been in focus post those resignations, and yesterday there was a con call. Sonal, how are you reading it?
In the con call, the chairman or the board allayed fears around MD's resignation and what would the growth path be next for the company as well. They said that currently search is underway for a suitable replacement, and ongoing projects, they won't be impacted because of the MD's exit. In fact, they are focusing on capital discipline as well. They said company is expecting to execute current and upcoming projects seamlessly, and customer relationships should also not be impacted, especially with innovators as well. So they tried to calm investor concerns as well. The management is also working with human resources when asked about the top-level management exits that we've been seeing recently, and company also wants to raise equity in order to achieve capital discipline. While they did try to allay these concerns, the street is still concerned about the new MD stepping in and doing the same kind of capex and growth that Mr. Welling did. On the back of this, Jeffrey says that current circumstances make it difficult for company to raise equity. They've cut their EBITDA estimates, and there's a sharp cut in their target price as well to 3,625 rupees a share. They've downgraded the stock to a hold as well. Nirmal Bang says that this is a buy, but the target price has been revised to 4,600 versus 5,000 earlier. So till the time the new management is in place, there could be some uncertainty with Navin Fluorine and the stock as well.
All right, uncertainty on Navin Fluorine. The stock also could be volatile. Thanks, Sonal, for that. Let's go across to Abhishek. There are some more banks that have come out with their business updates. Abhishek, what are you looking at?
Well, to begin with, RBL Bank deposit growth YOY is the best in last 8 quarters and sequentially the best in last 6 quarters. So deposit growth is at 9.8% YOY and about 1.7% sequentially. CASA momentum has been weak like we have seen for others. So CASA ratio has declined both YOY and quarter-on-quarter to 32.1% when compared to 34.5% in the same quarter last year and about 32.6% in the previous quarter. Advances growth is feeble over here, just 10.3% YOY and about 1.2% sequentially. There is improvement in CD ratio on a sequential basis, which could keep or help the net interest margin remain stable. PNB, the weakest loan growth YOY and quarter-on-quarter in last 5 quarters. However, the net interest margin could surprise positively. So deposit growth is at 9.65% YOY and about 0.8% sequentially. One of the rare bank to see CASA ratio improve on a sequential basis. Advances growth is at 13.8% YOY and 3% quarter-on-quarter. So CD ratio has improved both YOY and quarter-on-quarter, indicating that the net interest margin could remain healthy versus the previous quarter. So Bandhan Bank net interest margin can improve. They have seen improvement in CASA ratio and shrinkage or decline in bulk deposit as well. So deposit growth is at 12.8% YOY and 3.3% quarter-on-quarter. CASA ratio has jumped up by 250 basis points quarter-on-quarter. Bulk deposits have declined by almost 7% sequentially. Advances growth is at 12.3% YOY and 4.3% quarter-on-quarter. So there is improvement in CD ratio sequentially, which could help the net interest margin remain healthy. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. Well, Sonia, you're looking at Hero MotoCorp, and bike lovers like me are getting spoiled for choice.
Yeah, they are. And you know, their flagship motorcycle, the Charisma, right? They had launched it way back in 2007.
Yes.
And then they came out with some cosmetic changes in 2011. They've revived that brand, the Charisma, and they've launched it again, and they've received a very handsome, almost 14,000 bookings is what they received for the Charisma, the new Charisma XMR, that is. Now, if you look at it, the deliveries of the Charisma will commence from this month. It's a 200cc bike, and of course, you know, it's in this space which is really picking up pace right now. If you look at, I mean, the pricing is around 1.7 lakhs. So if you look at the stock price itself, it's come back into action in a big way. In the last 6 months, the stock is up about 25 odd %. It is not too far away from its 52-week high, about 8% away from its 52-week high. So yeah, this is a segment that's coming back, a bike that is coming back. It reminds you of the 2007 time. We're back there.
No, it was a very good bike at that point
Yeah.
of time. I recall riding a black color one. Looked very, very good. Anyway, so
2007, that time also was very nice.
time was
We were
beautiful.
younger.
College day.
At least I was a lot younger and doing a lot of things.
On bikes.
Anyway, well, we don't want to go there, but we've got IEX and HCG in focus. Vivek is here with details on these two. Vivek, hi, morning.
Well, good morning. IEX is on our radar given the fact that it was an unseasonally hot summer and even the unseasonal rains have kept the short-term power markets very excited. So volumes, for the month of September, very high, up 13% on a year-on-year basis, coming in at 9,147 million units. The volumes for the quarter two have jumped up by 15% on a year-on-year basis. The day-ahead market, the key segment of IEX, the average clearing price has come in at 6.23 rupees per unit, which is up 11% on a year-on-year basis. Now, what the company is saying, going forward, the demand momentum in August 2023 has continued in September, and also three important triggers, the general network access, the Indian electricity grid code regulations, as well as, the transmission charges. All of these have commenced from October 1st. The company says all of these are important triggers and will push further volumes onto the short-term power exchanges. The next stock on our radar is Healthcare Global. The company has done two interesting acquisitions in Indore. Number one, the company is going to acquire a cancer care center from SRJ Healthcare and also going to acquire radiation business from Amrish Oncology Services. Along with that, the company in Indore is going to expand its operations by 100 beds and add cancer as well as the diagnostic treatment facility. And all of this that the company says will be done in the next 2 years. So an interesting acquisition from Healthcare Global.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, the big headline, of course, globally is the fall that we've seen in crude prices. Manisha Gupta is here to give us the latest on that. Manisha, over to you.
Well, thank you for that, Sonia. Even as we've been looking at $96 a barrel in case of crude oil prices, it was just last week. We've been saying that it has been overbought because we've seen nearly 28% of gains in the third quarter for the crude oil prices. So this profit-taking wasn't coming. The hedge fund long positions have been the highest in 3 years. So they've also gotten into some profit-taking and liquidation here. If you look at the prices, we've lost 5% overnight. It's an 8% of a decline for the crude oil prices in this week. And with this fall at $86 a barrel, we are trading at a 1-month lows in case of crude oil prices. Well, three major factors. One, you saw the U.S. gasoline stocks build up in the biggest way in 2 years. That tells you that the U.S. demand is slightly on the lower side. The heating oil prices also fell by nearly 5%. We also are looking at Russia lifting diesel ban in coming days, and that has weighed onto the market. And then OPEC and allies made no changes to the group output policy. That also led to some profit-taking coming in for the prices.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So that's basically the big drop that we've seen in oil prices coming through. NHPC is also perhaps going to be in focus. We've seen, real bad devastation because of the flooding in Sikkim. Some of the very large hydro projects in that state have also sort of borne the brunt of the onslaught, the fury that the floods have brought forth. Vivek is standing by with a quick update. NHPC perhaps should be in focus today. Vivek.
Well, you're absolutely right. The unfortunate flooding situation in Sikkim has caused significant issues across all of the hydro projects that run along the Teesta River. Now, NHPC has two projects, that are upcoming as far as this particular riverbed itself is concerned. The first one is the Teesta Fry project, which has a capacity of 510 megawatt. That particular project has seen radial gate damage, and at this point of time, it is uncertain as to when the operations can start. The other project is Teesta Stick. This particular project is under construction, and the operational date estimated was FY27. Again, that too is going to be delayed. At this point of time, what is important to check is that most of the companies typically have insurance coverage for the upcoming projects and the projects that are under construction. So we are waiting for a statement from NHPC, indicating assessing the exact extent of the damage and what are the claims owed to them.
All right. Well, here's a quick recap of our top stocks. Stocks with positive news flow. There's RBL Bank, PNB, Bandhan Bank, Hero MotoCorp, IEX and Healthcare Global. While stocks with negative news flow, there's Marico, Navin, Fluorine, ONGC and NHPC. Let's take a short break. Up next, market expert Hemang Jani will be joining in for some fundamental stock analysis. We'll also connect with Pratik Jain of PwC and MS Money of Deloitte to talk about expectations from the GST Council meet on the 7th of October. Do stay tuned in for that.